Welcome out to a beautiful night right here at 81 Speedway. We are the United Herbal Sprint Series. The United Herbal Sprint Series kicked off their season 2 weeks ago at Salina Speedway. Zach Lurton in the number 11 out of Quinter picked up the big win on our opening night. Next weekend, the United Herbal Sprint Series. It'll be a double header in Hayes, Kansas at RPM Speedway for the Sunflower Classic on Saturday and Sunday night. Remember, race fans, if you can't make it out to the races, tune in live to racinboys.com. Ladies and gentlemen, having more fun than the law will allow. The Mel Hamilton Ford, Lucas Oil, Power Eye, United Herbal Sprint Series. We brought 25 cars here tonight. We're going to take the top 20 into the A main. Your pole setter for heat race number 1 out of Bertrand, Nebraska in the 7X. That'll be Shane Sundquist. Alongside him in row number 1 out of Forgon, Oklahoma, number 6, Caden Taylor. In row number 2 on the inside out of Lubbock, Texas, number 1, John Carney. Outside row number 2 out of Eagle, Nebraska, number 12, Tyler Drueke. Inside row number 3 out of Wright, Kansas, number 10, Jordan Knight. Alongside him in row number 3, it'll be the number 5 of Eric Matthews out of Conway Springs. Our fourth and final row on the inside out of Holcomb, Kansas in the 11X, Luke Cranston. Outside row number 4, the 74V of Howard Van Dyke out of Clay Center. Sundquist sets a pace as they roll into turn number 3. Alongside him will be Caden Taylor on row number 1. Out of 3, getting ready to roll in at 4. We're getting ready to go racing right here at 81 Speedway. Green flag flies. Sundquist off to the quick lead into turn number 1. Behind him will be John Carney in the number 1. Tyler Drueke setting in the third place spot in the number 12. Larry Neighbors goes to the bottom side in turn number 3. He'll get around the 5 of Eric Matthews. Sundquist still your race leader. John Carney setting in the second place spot, trying to reel him in down the front straightaway. Here comes Tyler Drueke out of 4. Caden Taylor in the number 6, setting in the fourth place spot. 10 of Jordan Knight, 29 of Larry Neighbors. Eric Matthews now side by side with Labors as they go into turn number 1. Matthews gets around the 29. Carney now trying to reel in the 7 of Shane Sundquist as they go out of turn number 2. Sundquist running on the bottom side of the track. Here comes John Carney. Drag race to the front straightaway. We'll see where he goes in turn number 1. Sundquist still your race leader out of Bertrand, Nebraska. Carney trying to reel him in as we're halfway home. Cranston now trying to come on the backside of the 10 of Jordan Knight. Knight will slam the door in between turns 1 and 2. 2 more laps to go around the speedway. John Carney now trying to make a move. Sundquist will suck the door on the 1 car, John Carney. White flag comes out this time. One more trip around the speedway. The number 7 of Shane Sundquist, your race leader. John Carney Set in the second place spot with a 12 at Tyler Druke. Picking up the checkered flag here in heat race number 1. Let's give it up for the 7 of Shane Sundquist out of Bertrand, Nebraska. John Carney in the number 1 car. In the second place spot, Tyler Druke. Caden Taylor and Luke Cranston moving up in to the 4th place spot. One more time, anyone. Let's give a big round of applause for your race winner here in heat race number 1, the 7 of Shane Sundquist out of Bertrand, Nebraska. Once again, heat race number 2 brought to us by Hilker Trucking out of Cimarron. Your pole center for heat race number 2, the 34C of Kel Kozad. Alongside him in row number 1, the 50 of Jed Warner out of Caudell, Kansas. In row number 2, out of Jetmore, the 1X, Cody Lampy. Outside, row number 2, in the 95, out of Colorado Springs, Buddy Tubbs. Row number 3 in the 911, that's Ty Williams out of Arcadia. Alongside him, the 97 of Flying Brian Herbert out of Dodge City. And row number 4 out of Jetmore. On the inside, 88J, Jeremy Hewish. And last but not least, the 98 of J.D. Johnson out of Wichita. Out of 3, get ready to roll into 4. Green flag flies. Kel Kozad going to the bottom side and turn number 1 out of 2. He'll shut the door on the 50 of Jed Warner. Here comes Cody Lampy in the 1X going to the bottom side. Turn number 3 gets around a 50 of Jed Warner. Buddy Tubbs sneaks to the bottom side. He puts his car into the second place spot out of turn number 4. Here he goes out of turn number 2. Jed Warner now moving back into the 4th place spot. Yellow flag will come out. 1X of Cody Lampy having a little bit of trouble on the front straightaway. 7 cars remain here in heat race number 2 on the total restart. The 34C of Kel Kozad sets the pace as they roll down the back straight. Out of turn number 3 into 4, green flag will fly. Whoa, trouble in turn number 1. Bring out the red flag. The 911 of Ty Williams. And it looks like the 95 of Buddy Tubbs. That will bring out the red flag. All right, one more time. The flagman flashing the green light on as they roll out of turn number 2. Kel Kozad setting a pace alongside him, the 50 of Jed Warner. The Rocket, Jeremy Hewish on inside row number 2. On the outside will be the 97 of Flying Brian Herbert. Out of turn number 3, getting ready to roll on turn number 4. Green flag will fly for the 3rd time on the restart. Here we go. Hewish to the bottom side, trying to make a move on Jed Warner. He does get around him for the 2nd place spot. Kozad will keep his 1st place spot. Hewish now into the 2nd place position. Here comes Jed Warner, number 50. J.D. Johnson up 1 position around the 97 of Brian Herbert. Follow the leader into turn number 1. Lap number 1 officially in the books for heat race number 2. Kel Kozad, your race leader, the 88J, Jeremy Hewish. Behind him on the 50 of Jed Warner. Kozad checking out from the 88J. Commanding lead for the 34C. Halfway home for the 34C of Kel Kozad, the 88J Jeremy Hewish, 50 Jed Warner, 98 of JD Johnson, the 97 of Brian Herbert. Round out the rest of the field here in heat race number 2. Three more trips around the Speedway right here at the famed 81 Speedway. Kel Kozad in the 34C, your race leader. White flag going to come out next time by for the 34C. One more trip around the Speedway for the 34C of Kel Kozad. Jeremy Huey set in the second place spot. Warner, J.D. Johnson, and Herbert. All right, picking up the checkered flag here in heat race number 2 out of Wichita in the 34C. That's Kel Kozad taking home the second place spot. The 88J Jeremy Huey, the 50 of Jed Warner, and the 98 of J.D. Johnson. And last but not least, the 97 car of Flying Brian Herbert out of Kinsley, Kansas. That'll do it for heat race number 2. Your pole setter here tonight for heat race number 3, brought to you by Randy Patterson Welding. It'll be the 45 of Monty Ferreira. Outside him in row number 1 out of Quinter, it'll be the 11 of Zach Blurton. Inside row number 2 in the 45X, that's Kyler Johnson out of Quinter. Outside row number 2 out of Jetmore, the Rain Man Ray Seaman in number 72. Row number 3 out of Spearville, the 11K of Tyler Knight. Outside row number 3 out of Liberal, Kansas, it's the 17X of Taylor Velasquez. Our fourth and final row out of Liberal, the 0 car of Steven Richardson. And last but not least, out of Odessa, Texas, the 2B of Brett Becker. Ferreira sets the pace, rolling on a 3 into 4. Green flag will fly. Ferreira on the bottom side, Blurt now around him. Whoa, trouble for the 45 car. How did nobody hit the 45? Lucky stars for the 45 of Ferreira. They're rolling into turn number 1 on the start. Johnson now setting the pace, rolling into turn number 3. Blurton alongside him in row number 1. Green flag will fly one more time on the start. Blurton on the top side gets around the 45 of Johnson now. Blurton, your new race leader. Kyler Johnson in second. Ray Seaman setting in the third place spot. Here comes the 17X of Tanner Velasquez. He was side by side with the 72 of Ray Seaman. Seaman will shut the door out of turn number 4. Seaman will keep the third place spot. Put Velasquez back into the fourth place spot. Becker now up 3 spots, sitting in the top 5. Here comes Monty Ferrer trying to reel in the 2B of Brett Becker. Blurton now out of 4, coming down the front straightaway. Your race leader, Johnson, about 10 car lengths back behind position number 1. Ferrer now trying to battle with the number 2 of Brett Becker as they rolled into turn number 1. Out of 2, Becker pull away from the 45 of Ferreira. Here comes Blurton one more time around the flag stand. Seaman setting in the third place spot with the 17X of Velasquez in fourth. Ferreira having trouble getting around the 2 of Brett Becker. Brett Becker pulling away down the back straightaway. Kyler Johnson now moves up a line out of turn number 2. Blurton still with the commanding lead as we're halfway home here in heat race number 3. Oh, right in the top of the track on turn number 4. Bringing out the yellow, it'll be the 2B, Brett Becker bringing out the caution here in heat race number 3. The 2B, Brett Becker doing a grind around the rail on the top of turn number 4. 3 laps remain. Your race leader so far are the 11 car, Zach Blurton out of Quinter. He's our last year's 2019 national champion. That is the 11 of Zach Blurton out of Quinter. Behind him, also out of Quinter, the rookie of the year last year is the 45X of Kyler Johnson. Blurton rolling into 3, out of 3 into 4. Green flag will fly one more time. No passing before they get to the cone. 3 laps to go for the 11 car. 45X of Kyler Johnson sent in the second place spot. 17X of Tanner Velasquez trying to reel in the 72 of Ray Seaman. Velasquez goes to the bottom side, and turn number 3 does a slide jump on the bottom side, getting around the 72 car. Drag racing into turn number 1. Seaman on the bottom side. Velasquez will shut the door on the 72 car. Here comes Ferreira trying to reel in the 72 as they bump bumpers down the back straightaway. White flag this time. One more trip around the Speedway. Monty Ferreira now trying to get around the 72 of Seaman. Seaman will shut the door out of turn number 1. 2 more turns for the 11 car of Blurton. Here he comes taking the checkered flag here in heat race number 3. Your race winner will be the 11 car of Zach Blurton out of Quinter, the 45X of Kyler Johnson. Tanner Velasquez, Ray Seaman, and Monty Ferrer round out the top 5. That is going to do it for the heat races on the United Rail Sprint Series. All right, 81 Speedway, you ready for race time? Once again, a beautiful night of racing right here at 81 Speedway, the United Rail Sprint Series. Proud to be part of tonight's show. At this time, race fans, if you could please stand on your feet. Ladies and gentlemen of 81 Speedway, we have taken 20 of the best and put them 4 abreast right here at 81 Speedway. Ladies and gentlemen, having more fun than the law will allow. The Mel Hamilton Ford, Lucas Oil, Power Eye, United Rebel Sprint Series. Pace truck will pull off on the backside. Kyler Johnson out of Quinter, your pole setter here tonight for 25 laps on the A main. Alongside him in row number 1, the 1 of John Carney. Once again, race fans, the light is out. It'll be Kyler Johnson, the 45X, setting the pace as they roll down the back straightaway into turn number 3. Alongside him in row number 1 will be the number 1 of John Carney. Out of 3 as they get ready to roll into turn number 4. Green flag will fly as we start 25 laps right here at 81 Speedway. Kyler Johnson on the bottom side, still keep the lead on the start. Here goes J.D. Johnson trying to roll the number 1 car of John Carney. Kel Kozad on the high side, roll right in the rail as he bonsais around turns 3 and 4. Kyler Johnson keeping the lead. John Carney in the second place spot, the 98 of J.D. Johnson, 34 of Kel Kozad, and it'll be the 7 of Shane Sundquist. Oh, trouble for the 911 car as he'll bring out the yellow here. The yellow brought out for the 911 of Ty Williams out of Arcadia, Oklahoma. Scores are going to call her 1 laps in the books. It'll be a single file restart. Kyler Johnson in the 45X going to be the pace setter as we start a single file restart. Johnson setting the pace. They roll in turn number 3. Behind him is Carney. Into 3, in between 3 and 4. Green flag will fly on the restart. Single file to the cone. John Carney on the tail tank of the 45. Carney into the high side. Side by side going out of turn number 2 to be Kyler Johnson pulling away down the back straightaway. Johnson will keep the lead on Carney. J.D. Johnson sitting in the 3rd place spot. Kozad and Sunquist rounding out the top 5. Caden Taylor in the number 6 car going to the bottom side. He'll pull to the infield on the bottom of the 3. Johnson will keep the lead as they come around turn number 4. Stephen Richardson in the 0 car moving up 4 spots on the restart. He gets around the 11 of Tyler Knight. Richardson now trying to reel in the 10 of Jordan Knight. Becker goes to the top side, trying to get her in the 45 of Monty Ferreira. Monty Ferreira shut the door out of turn number 2. Trouble on the top of turn number 2. It'll be the 1X of Cody Lampe out of Jetmore. The 1X of Cody Lampe coming to a stop at the top of the track there between 1 and 2. All right, to Flagman turned out the light, gave him the 1 to go. Kyler Johnson setting the pace down the back straightaway. John Carney on his tail tank, single file to the cone. Out of 3 into 4, green flag will fly. 22 laps remain in the 25-lap schedule. Carney now moving to the top side in turn number 1. Kyler Johnson will pull away out of turn number 2. Tyler Drucke getting around 2 cars on the restart, but coming out of 2. He'll lose momentum behind Luke Cranston. Seaman now around the bottom side of turn number 4. He'll get around the 17X of Tanner Velasquez as well as Luke Cranston. So far, a good run by the 45X of Kyler Johnson. John Carney setting the 2nd place spot. J.D. Johnson, Kel Kozad. Sunquist running out the top 5. Now Blern trying to reel in Sunquist for the 5th place spot. Sunquist to pull away down the back straightaway. Seaman now, eye on the prize. He's going around the 88J. We'll see if 88 can hold him off out of drag race down to turn number 1. Hewish into 1 on the bottom side. Seaman following suit. Troubles for the 2B of Brett Becker out of Odessa, Texas. He'll pull in on the bottom side of turn number 1. Kyler Johnson still your race leader. Kyler Johnson coming into lap traffic. We'll see if the rookie can get around the first lap car. He does so. John Carney moves up to about 3 car lengths. Carney now around the 74 Van Dyke. 11K of Tyler Knight coming to a stop, going into the infield. We'll see if he can get in as he's creeping at the bottom of turn number 3. He will get off the track. Green flag will stay underway. Here we go. 16 laps remain here at 81 Speedway. Kyler Johnson doing a great job as he tries to reel in the 911 of Ty Williams. Carney about 5 car lengths behind him. Now trouble with Monty Ferreira in the 45. Kyler Johnson having trouble getting around the 911 of Ty Williams. Gives John Carney the opportunity to get up to the tail tank. But Kyler Johnson will pull away from him down the backside. Johnson having trouble getting around the 911 car. Carney right on the tail tank as they drag race down into turn number 1. Who's going to make the move to go up? Now, John Carney gets side by side with him. Johnson will pull away from him down the back straightaway. Carney waiting for the right time to make the pass on the 45 car. Ty Williams holding up the 45 of Kyler Johnson. Johnson having a lot of trouble getting around Ty Williams. J.D. Johnson still sitting in the 3rd place spot. 13 laps to go, 12 at the flag stand. Kyler Johnson now side by side. They get around the 911 as well as John Carney. Brian Herbert in the 97 car. He'll pull to the bottom of turn number 3. He'll go to the infield. The 45 of Kyler Johnson. Yellow flag will come out. It's the 12 of Tyler Drucke. bringing out the yellow. Tyler Drueke in the 12 car, bringing out the yellow. 12 laps to go. What a run so far by the 45X of Kyler Johnson. Let's give him a big round of applause. The light is out. Kyler Johnson sets the pace as they roll out of turn number 3. Green flag gets ready to fly one more time. 12 laps to go. Richardson getting around one car on the restart. Kyler Johnson will keep his first place position with Carney setting in the second place spot. Blurton now trying to reel in the 7-ish Shane Sundquist. Drueke up 2 spots off the restart. He gets back behind the 911 car. 10 more trips around the Speedway for the 45X of Kyler Johnson. Carney sitting in the second place spot. Jed Warner now move up to the top side. He's side by side with Richardson. Richardson will shut the door out of turn number 2. Johnson still holding off the one of John Carney. Richardson now gets around the 17X to Tanner Velasquez. Richardson moving up slow. So far, superb run by the 45X of Kyler Johnson out of Quinter. At the flag stand, there'll be 7 more trips around the Speedway right here at 81 Speedway. John Carney having a trouble now catching back up to the 45X. Howard Van Dyke will be the first lap car. Six more laps to go. Here we go. John Carney now reeling in the 45, about 4 car lengths behind him. Johnson now pull away down the back straightaway. He's getting ready to reel in the 74 of Van Dyke on the lap traffic. 5 more trips around the Speedway. Richardson in the 0 car moving up through the field as he tries to reel in the 72 of Ray Seaman out of Jetmore. Johnson getting around the 74 of Van Dyke. 4 more laps to go. 1 lap car in between 1 and 2. We'll see if Kyler can pull away and use the lap car to his advantage. Oh, trouble for Van Dyke as he bobbles, but it gets John Carney around him with 3 more trips to go. Luke Cranston trying to reel in the 88J of Jeremy Hewish. Hewish will shut the door in out of turn number 2. Johnson, 2 laps to go, still your race leader. White flag will come out next time around for the 45X. There's the white flag for Kyler Johnson in the 45X. 1 more trip around the Speedway. Looking to pick up his first career win right here at 81 Speedway. Will he hold on? John Carney sitting in the second place spot. Last year's Rookie of the Year. Here he comes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's give it up for him. Last year's Rookie of the Year. Tonight's big winner, the 45X of Kyler Johnson out of Quinter, Kansas. John Carney picking up the second place spot, and J.D. Johnson picking up 3rd. gentlemen, coming to the victory lane for the first time in his career, the 45X of Kyler Johnson. Ladies and gentlemen, Kyler Johnson in the 45X. The first of many for Kyler Johnson in the 45X coming to victory lane here tonight. Our 2019 Rookie of the Year. He's getting his helmet off. One more time, let's give it up for him, 81 Speedway, Kyler Johnson. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here he is. Last year's Rookie of the Year, tonight's big winner, Kyler. What a run around 81 Speedway tonight. A lot of heavy hitters out on the track. You've made every A main that you've ever been in with the United Rail Sprint Series, and tonight you finally locked it into victory lane. What do you think?
Yeah, this is the greatest moment of my life so far. I mean, that took 25 perfect laps the whole time.
When you said perfect laps, you had to be perfect because John Carney was right on your tail. Could you tell he was so close to you at times?
Yeah, at times I could hear him, and just knowing in the back of your mind that you have a guy like him right behind you, it's quite something.
Well, coming out of 2, you were really fast, and you pull away from him, and then Howard Van Dyke, you got around him, and we thought that might be the buffer between you, and then Carney got around him, and he was right up on you. Ladies and gentlemen, making 25 perfect laps, Kyler Johnson out of Quinter, Kansas. Kyler, who are some of the sponsors you want to thank here tonight?
I got to thank Hilker Trucking, Hot Rods, PNC Farms, Western Ag Aviation, 5B Seed, Man Cattle Company, and I'm sure I'm forgetting some, but man, this is great.
Awesome. First of many trips to victory lane, I'm sure. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's big winner, Kyler Johnson out of Quinter, Kansas.